Thank you again. We appreciate your testimony, appreciate you being here and your willingness to answer some questions. I'm afraid I'm going to have to leave in about 5 minutes. I have a bill on the floor that I have to go over for. So if it's all right, I'm going to start with some questions for a few minutes, and then I'll hand it over to my wonderful colleagues. Mr. Ishmael, if I can start with you, what kind of changes or progress have you seen in humanitarian access over the past years? Which region of the country are still blocked by the government, and are there signs that this will improve in the next 3 months?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't think that I have seen any improvement in the human rights situation in general, and certainly not the access. There were reports of limited humanitarian access in the areas where the government has control. But the areas that the rebels control, or the other fighting forces in different parts of the country, had not been accessible to the workers and never to the supplies that were in dire need for these populations. We've seen that in some places, in two Payams or two counties that under the control of the SPLM North were already declaring. The SPLM North already declared famine in these two counties. The situation in Darfur is not better. Eastern Jabal Mara, where we all reported that there were attacks from last year, there were over 100,000 people that were not allowed even to reach the displaced camps, so that they can get the limited access to services and food. So for me, there is no improvement in the human rights situation in general, and certainly not access.
Let me do a follow-up. If the sanctions changes and the executive order 13761 became permanent, what leverage or influence does the United States have with the government of Sudan to achieve various objectives?
I think there is no leverage at that point, because we have seen from the CPA and on, the only way that we were able to force the government of Sudan to budge was through showing that the international community is vigilant, the international community is staying on pressure. That is the mode of operation that the government of Sudan understands. When this lifting of or partial easing of sanctions happened, we have seen how Khartoum was gloating about this, that if you cannot twist the arm, then you shake them, that the US had tried us and found us very difficult to punish, then they extended the arm to work with us. This is not a regime that understands the gestures of goodwill. This is not a regime that understands that the international community has a way of working with different governments in the world. This is a regime that has its own echo chamber, that only hears its own voice, and a regime that if you extend the hand to them, the only one that is going to suffer are the people under them. I urge this Congress and of course this committee that they will not let go their guard and let the government of Sudan get away with murder, literally, because this is a government that is oppressing its own people.